All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's our last game of week 1 that we get to analyze. It's Linty Juggler 90 taking on Jeff K. By the way, this is going to be a fun game to watch, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that. I mean, I was freaking out for some of this game as well myself. So, yeah, there's that as well. I just got to get something going here because I don't have the actual games ready to analyze and review. My bad, guys. But yeah, okay, now we're ready. All right, let's get started here. We got Jeff as the black pieces. We got Linty as the white. Let's get started here with a good move here. Opening with the E4 pawn. E5 opening by Jeff. We got an F3 attacking the pawn. Jeff defends it with the rook with the knight. Nice, nice, nice. We got the Italian pushing it up with the bishop to C4. Jeff with the copycat version here. Same move, same strategy here, going for that pawn that Linty's pressuring, just on the other side of the board on Linty's side. We get a pawn pushed up to B3, and Jeff gets the advantage, and kinda does not take advantage of it. It goes back to even with that pawn getting moved up. I'm guessing we're gonna see Linty go probably in for the kennel. Going to kennel his bishop into the corner here and use it to basically control the whole diagonal here. And if Jeff lets him take the rook, if it gets wide open, Linty goes and puts H4 pawn up. Jeff has the advantage. Jeff pushes the rook out, or the rook pushes the knight out, and Linty goes in and tries to fry liver him in a way, going for this pawn right here that is defended by the bishop. We might just go in for a check here and just let Jeff know he's here. Jeff pushes the bishop up, which is shocking because he could just trade the knight for the bishop. And, Linty's going to take with the bishop instead. He's going to trade the white square bishops here, which is kind of shocking. I mean, I've seen Linty play a lot more, and usually he takes with the knight, because bishops are very valuable. I mean, to trade the white square bishops like that is kind of interesting. I wonder what Linty has in store for us. Ooh, he goes in. He's going for the queen here. Let's see how Jeff counters. He pushes the queen up one. Good counter here. But Linty does have the advantage if he can find the actual move, which is knight taking on C5. Can you see that? Is the question, because that's going to be a fork. No, he goes for the other way and takes the other bishop. And Jeff just castles. And Linty goes in and takes on B7. So right now, Linty's being very aggressive with the horse, not really getting development out too much. Jeff has a lot of his pieces developed, but he's letting Linty take a lot of pieces here. Linty's up with 2 bishops and 2 pawns. Jeff only has 1 bishop. This is bad for Jeff. And Jeff finally goes in for an attack here. Goes to E4. Linty pushes the pawn up, trying to attack the knight. Jeff says, I don't care about that, bro. I have a horse free right here from taking. That rook is going to go in if you actually try and take it with your king. So, yeah. Linty says, okay, well, I'll just move my horse out. Didn't see the queen probably being taken. He probably just seen this move. He's seen this move here. And he thought, okay, I can't take it with my king. My rook's under attack. He just didn't look at full board probably, and he didn't see his queen was actually right for the taking. Just move the queen out of the way, man. That's all you gotta do. Jeff takes advantage of it, though. Linty decides to trade the queen down. And Jeff now threatening to go in for checkmate. Linty, a little bit of defense on it right there, because that is not going to be checkmate. That's going to be a forced check, and he's going to move the rook down one. How's Jeff going to try and finish it off here? He moves the horse in. And this is danger levels right now for Linty, because I don't know how he's going to be able to get out of this. He needs to get this horse out of the way. Even if you move right here, for example, it still doesn't matter. It's still going to be checkmate with E2. So, how is he going to get the horse out of the way is the question here. What does the engine suggest? Oh, moving it here, which is a good strategy because it stops this from happening. And this cannot happen because of the horse taking it. So, that's what the engine says. And instead, Linty, I don't think, sees it. Or he didn't know how to actually didn't see it. He either didn't see the attack, or he just didn't see the the rook to the E1, and didn't see what Jeff was actually threatening and thought that maybe he was going for this pawn instead. And he just messed up and left this wide open for the taking. And Jeff took game 1 from Linty in what was a quick game. A very quick game, but hey, we still got 2 more games to go through, guys. And I promise you, we're not going to just see the end of this game yet. So let's get to game 2. Game 2, Jeff is now the black pieces. Linty's the white. Actually, okay, I think this is the same way as before it was, actually, with both being white and black. This time we got 30 minutes on the clock here. We got an e4. We got an e5. We got a knight coming out. We got a knight coming out as well, defending it, same position as before. Back to the Italian game. This time, Jeff's going to push the pawn up 1. He's going to block in his dark squared bishop. He's going to let in his white square bishop to go over probably right here and like trap the queen, trap the horse. Linty puts the horse out, and there it is. Jeff puts the bishop down right there, trapping the horse to the queen. That horse cannot move unless Linty wants to lose his queen here. Queen moves a4 by Linty. Jeff's going to take the horse, actually, which is shocking to me because, I mean, I don't really like trading bishops for horses, but okay. So this is mate in 1 for Linty, yes. What Jeff didn't realize is that the queen's out right here and the bishop is right here. This is checkmate. This is a bad checkmate, too. This is one where you can just get smacked in the face with it. And there's nothing really that Jeff could do. He just didn't see it. But instead, Linty went with the wrong move. He put the bishop down in there. And, hey, Jeff can move out of the way. We're fine here. And then he puts it in and goes in for the kill. Does Linty. He puts the king back in check. Leaving the horse to take the actual queen right there. Very aggressive is Linty early on in this game. Nice pawn take on the horse. The horse moves out. Rook moves up to a3. We got pawns in the middle here. Jeff wants to control the middle of the board. I always suggest that for people learning chess. Control the middle of the board. Control the game that way. Now here's the thing. Linty can actually castle where Jeff now can't because of his king having the move. So that might be an advantage for Linty. Linty going in for this pawn right here. Jeff, I don't think he sees it. But Linty knows that he cannot trade down pieces. So he moves the horse out of the way instead of taking that free pawn right there. Only for a simple fact that he doesn't want to lose more pieces and be down material against Jeff, which is smart. Jeff moves the horse in the way here. Linty takes it right back here. I mean, that was just a free horse. I don't think Jeff remembered the bishop that was right here. Right here, Jeff's going to fork the pieces. Linty going to let him take the horse. And he takes the actual pawn with the actual rook, shockingly. I'm kind of surprised he did that. I would have actually developed the bishop out more. And maybe tried to force an attack on the diagonals, like get it either right here or out right here. I mean, yes, the queen's defending this, but I mean, if the queen goes, you can just go in with the rook right here. It all depends on what Linty wants to do here. He pushes the rook out, though. Gonna put some pressure on the rook. Goes in for the free pawn, like we said earlier. That's a check as well. Jeff can be forced to move the king. He moves the king out. And now Linty has the advantage here in this game. And honestly, what you could do here is you could trade the actual rook here. You can go here and just like trade down with the rooks if you really want to. But Jeff will still have the advantage here. The correct move here after this would be actually putting the bishop down and putting him in check, which is also a great move as well. And yeah. But let's just keep going here. I don't believe... Where are we at? We're at here. Okay. Linty moves the pawn up. Jeff gets back some advantage here in the elo bar. Queen goes down. Goes for the check. Aggressive move right there by Jeff. But hey, we'll take it. Linty moves the king into the d-file. Jeff going in for the kill here. Takes a pawn here. And Linty moving the king out of the way. He knows his king's in danger. Jeff just going in. Moves the bishop in the way. Dark Sword bishop being opened here. He's going to probably put it right here and just threaten the attack here more. Is Jeff. Linty pushes the pawn down. Jeff doesn't actually go for the attack here. I mean, is there a problem of going here? Kinda, in a sense. They're saying D1 with the rook would actually be better defending that square. Because if you don't defend that square, let's just say Linty decides to do his attack anyways that he did in the next move, which was H4. I mean, this is just devastating. Because you're not going to take the bishop now. You have to actually move your king out of the way. But Jeff doesn't see it, and so he moves the king up. Linty pushes up with the pawn. B8. He wants to trade down. Jeff wants to trade down the rooks. Linty says, no, I'm going to check. I'm going to move my pawn up. You can take that, but I'm going to go in with the bishop right here. Jeff goes in, and Jeff just doesn't see it. There's a mate in one here, and Linty actually finds it. I'm going to let you guys take a time to actually see if you can find it yourselves. It is the pawn moving up one. Put in the king in checkmate, and there's nowhere for that king to go. Beautiful game by Linty. Linty actually, really good game. I believe these two are playing really well chess right now. These two are playing some very great chess in this game here. And game 3 is going to be a battle between these two. I guarantee you that. So let's go to game 3. We're tied 1-1 here. Linty's going to be the black pieces for the first time. Jeff's going to be white. 30-minute time limit. Now, I'm going to say this before we start this game here. Let me take a drink first, though. If you're going to do time games, put the interval to 2 minutes. What the interval does is that it adds time after your move. So if you really want to do time games, but you don't want to go through time that much, I'm going to give you guys a little trick here. Put the intervals to 120 minutes. You'll get extra 2 minutes every time you make a move. So if you're losing out on time and stuff like that, you can at least get 2 minutes back by doing that. And I don't, if you're going to play time games like this, you can get your time back easily. This game does end in a classic barn burner, but they didn't have the intervals on, and it's going to affect the game drastically. I do think that the winner of this game would have been the way it ended, though. So there's that, but at the same time, I do believe that if you had the intervals up, you would have more time, and we would have actually seen a clear winner. And plus, you don't know who's going to win the game in a time game like that when you actually lose up on time, especially since one person's on lower on time than the other. It happens. Anyways, let's get going here. E4, E5. We're going with the king pawn opening here. F3 by Jeff. Oh, Linty says you can take my pawn. Jeff says I don't want it. He puts the bishop out, defending the pawn himself. Linty does a 2-knight variant, goes and defends the pawn now this time. Jeff gonna castle. Oh, Linty going in with the bishop here. Going for this pawn here, it looks like. This diagonal here is a nice diagonal to have control of. Linty makes a breathing room for the king by moving the H3 pawn up. Just in case this opens up, he can get an escape route out, is what his plan is. Jeff decides, Jeff made that decision going to F3, not Linty. I'm so used to seeing them as white. Linty as white and Jeff as black that I'm thinking the other way around. But Linty moves the pawn up to defend the bishop. Moves the knight out to C3. Moves in, does Linty here with the pawn with the bishop. And this is where it gets more Dangerville for players, because you can go here. You can get a bishop for free, basically, and not lose your bishop. We'll see what happens here. Jeff goes and takes a check. Linty blocks with the pawn. Jeff goes back one. He's threatening this pawn now. If I'm Linty, I'm castling. Instead, he goes and... I don't like that move, actually. I think you gotta castle. Because you put the rook right here and you defend this pawn. Especially if Jeff puts him, gets the horse out and then puts the queen right here. That's dangerous. And plus, this is guarding this square for that queen not to be able to get there. But okay, so Linty goes right there, puts it on the corner to swallow corner. Jeff goes and threatens it. Linty just takes it with the queen. Doesn't want to see that shit. Smart move right there by Linty. D3. Jeff putting some pressure on the queen. He thinks that he can't take this because it'll be taken by the queen or the rook, whatever Jeff wants to decide. But what Jeff doesn't realize is that this going in here just defends his queen, and also it makes some good attack here on this. Because that's checkmate if he gets the actual hit here. Like, I mean, Jeff's going to be forced to lose the bishop for that knight. Because here's the thing, if Jeff doesn't play it, that's checkmate. So, Jeff decides instead to go in with the queen to defend the pawn, which I do not mind at all. Jeff did see it. I'm surprised he didn't decide just to lose his bishop, though, but hey, he's seen it. He could have also did something like this as well, I believe, which would have been better. Oh, wait, no, that would have been mate in 2. Ooh. Yeah, so they're saying that this taking it, moving the king to h1. Why can't you just take... Oh, I did not see the bishop there. Okay, so that's why it doesn't work. Okay, I didn't see it. That's fine. Jeff played a really good move, though. He defends this square right here with the queen. Linty's like, I'm going in. We're not playing this game anymore, Jeff. We're going in. Jeff puts this queen right here, and this is mate in 3. Linty does not want to trade queens, though. The whole correct move here is just taking. You know why? Because here's what's going to happen if you take. The bishop will probably take the horse here, I'm guessing. Queen to g2 for checkmate. Or, then you got the queen to g2 for checkmate. Hold on. I want to do this right, actually. I don't think he would leave it like that, but you can't take this because of that bishop. So you have to do something here, and you can't get really out of it. So, like, if you move something like g1 and try just to get some development, you're still going to lose from this. And Linty didn't realize that, and that's why he went back instead. But if he had that queen right there and just went in for the queen, he will have won this game in 11 to 12 to 13 moves. There was really... Linty just got very cold feet when the queen got in there, when Jeff suggested a queen trade. And I don't think Jeff's seen this either, where he cannot take this. I'm figuring he wanted the queen trade to take with the queen, but he didn't see the bishop, obviously. And that's why that kind of failed right there. And I was not even paying attention to the bishop as well, too, because I was like, oh, wait a minute. What's going to happen here? I'm guessing, like, because I'm looking at the board, and I'm looking at the mate in 2, and it says on the line of what happens if you want to get mate in 2. And it said about the bishop, and I was kind of confused, and then I was trying to take it with the queen, and then I realized the bishop was right there. So yeah, that's just a missed win right there by Linty, but instead Linty goes and pushes back. Jeff goes and puts the... That's just a free knight, my dude. That's a free knight. Linty doesn't see it, though. He goes and pushes in instead. I kind of feel like Linty's tunnel visioning here. Because, I mean, there it is. There's the attack here. Now, of course, you're going to get this, but you're also getting this for free. Linty's about to get the queen for free here. Queen at g2, takes the queen, loses right there, nice. Pushes down, going for this rook here, does Linty. Jeff just pushes rook out of the way, Linty castles. I like castle on the other side, actually, because I think there's more defense over here than it is over here. But I guess, cool, whatever. H4 by Jeff. Queen goes down, threatening to get into the corner, probably right here. Going for the check, more than likely. Jeff takes the pawn next to the queen, knowing that he can't take the bishop because of the pawn defending it. Linty moves the king up one. Jeff moves the rook up. And right there, after he moves the rook, Linty goes in for the check. Linty has full advantage of this game right now. Moves the king into h3. Linty moves the knight up one. Up to d4. Nice little check right there by Jeff. Now you're in a bad spot here. I wouldn't have done that, actually. I think the better move... Now, the bot does say h5 is the best move, which is shocking. I thought maybe this was a better move. But then again, you can't really stop it because there is something coming, and we'll talk about that later. But let's just keep it right here for now. The h5, nice. Moves the king in. And now, what are you going to do? You're going to put the bishop down. Bishop down to g5. Takes the pawn, does Linty. Goes back in. Actually, there was something that I missed, and that's if this, if he does not go and take this, this is mate in 1. And you're probably like, how is this mate in 1? Well, bishop to g7 is mate in 1. Shockingly enough, but I don't know if Linty would have actually did that or not. So yeah, the pawn went in there. Pawn gets taken. Bishop going after the rook this time. Rook has him in check. He takes the rook instead of the bishop. With the knight, I mean. Bishop takes the rook instead. So basically, Jeff is like, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm going to trade down. And he left himself in mate for 11. Right there, nice little take by Jeff. Now, let's see what Linty does here. He goes with b5, not seeing the mate possibility here. Jeff now just goes back with the bishop. Linty goes in for maybe another attack here somewhere. This pawn's kind of defending the bishop. I mean, you might want to put the pawn, like, bishop right here and just go in and just, like, trade it down. Because Linty does have the advantage here. He has the queen, where, like, Jeff doesn't have as much material as Linty does. So, right now, Linty's in the lead. D1. Nice attack on the queen by Jeff. Linty, takes the bishop. Trades down. Ooh. So Linty just takes the bishop and he trades down with his queen. I kind of surprised about that. Here's Linty going in for the G3 pawn. Ooh, Jeff goes down to H1. Bishop to F2. G2 for check. Nice check right there. He's going to get the bishop for free. And Linty's pushing back here. I mean, this can go up here, I believe. Put him in check again. Oh, he goes for the pawn instead. Nice move right there by Jeff. Moving back here. This is basically an end game here, guys. D5. Another check by Jeff. Pawn moves up. The kings are very close to each other, guys. Goes and takes that pawn. Both men trying to take pawns here. We got another pawn in threat here. Linty takes the back pawn of A2. Jeff takes the pawn on D5. Puts him in check. Linty puts him in check. Jeff puts him in check. Jeff puts him in check. I would just put it right here because here's the thing. If you put it right here, he can't get back to defend it. And this can't defend it either. So that pawn's free. And these two pawns can't really get out. I think this is a tie if you put it right here, Jeff. Just saying. F8 though. Linty now has full control. F4. Goes down, puts him in check. Elo Bar says, this is crazy. This is nuts right now. E3 by Linty. Jeff, I mean, there's a check right here. There's a free rook right here to really win the game here. He takes it. Pawn moving up. Jeff takes the pawn. Takes another pawn. Linty gonna play. Jeff playing defense on it. Now, if you're Jeff, you move this all the way back here, and you just stop this from happening. He wants to keep like marching his king over to basically stop it. You just keep going back and forth, and the key to that is that while he's doing that, you're moving this pawn up 1, 1, 1, 1, and getting your queen first. That's not moving it enough, Jeff. Linty gonna move it. Ouch. That was a bad move by Jeff right there. He lets him get the queen. And now we have a game where it's basically gonna be this. Linty doesn't want to tie. I mean, right here, if I'm Linty, I mean, you can't really. The pawn's back and the king's defending the pawn, so you can't really do that yet. But okay. Jeff going in for some checks here. Linty moving back. King moving down. Linty decides to go for the pawn, it looks like. Pawn going to move out. Jeff going to take the pawn here, or Linty going to take the pawn here easily. Jeff forced to go down. Jeff goes in for a check here. King moves out of the way. We got a classic battle of why not just take the rook and put Jeff in a bad situation here to end this game? That's the question here and Linty just didn't see it. Linty just putting him in checks here. He could just take the rook and win this game easily. He's on a time limit, though, and that's what I said about the 2-minute thing at the beginning of this video or the beginning of this game. I can't remember when I said it, but 2-minute intervals would have changed this game drastically. I think at this point, Linty was pre-moving. Jeff was trying to get a... Here's the thing, though. If I'm Linty, just trade down. F it. Take the tie. It doesn't really matter. If you're not going to at least like be able to checkmate him, at least tie it. Tying doesn't really help. Doesn't like matter. Jeff right here is like kind of like going after the queen now. Linty goes in for the check. Pushes him to B1. Goes down instead. A2. Down to A6. B1. F1. C2. We got a classic queen rook endgame where we're just having it go all over the place, and this game probably would have taken forever if there was no time limit. Linty only had 1 second at this point. B3, and that is when the game ends because of the time limit, and Jeff wins due to time. Man, I think this would have ended in a draw. Both players are playing phenomenal. I mean, but I'll say this. Right here. Not right here. Right here, I mean, Linty had at least 4 seconds to take this and just, like, end it. Now, I don't know if Jeff would have tried to stall him out, basically, but I think Linty could finish off a king-queen endgame on a king in 30 seconds. But, I just don't know if the time limit was the reason that he just didn't see this. But, even here, right here, just take this. Whoops, hold on. Or, where was it? Like, even if you do something like this, and, like, just trade down. Oh, yeah, you can. Like, honestly, this was gonna be a trade down fest. If I'm pretty sure that this game was not gonna be. Yeah, this just ended in time. But as long as Jeff stayed close to his rook, it was fine. Jeff was not gonna lose this game as long as he stayed close to his rook and then kept putting him in check. So Jeff played the time limit instead and ends the game that way, and Jeff wins the actual set here 2-1 against Linty. They'll see each other again, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you that. There's gonna be more games with these two. But Jeff did get the win. But before we actually end tonight, let's just go to the brackets here and let's see how everyone did this week. So here's the brackets. They're updated to whoever's in first, second, third, fourth. But for bracket A, Ace is up in top of bracket A with 9 points with an 0-1 record. Behind him is Meyer and Shu tied at second with 4 points, 1-0 records. Then on the bottom, Vea and Jake are down with 2 points with losing records right now, 0-1s. For bracket B, Crusher leading the way with 9 points with an 0-1. Followed behind him is Jeff at 4 points with a win. In third, Linty with 2 points. And in fourth and fifth in last place, Potter and Billy, both with 0 points and 0-1 records. So there's still a lot left to play for, ladies and gentlemen. The tournament's just getting started. I'll see you guys next time for week 2 when we review the games that happened in week 2. Thank you for watching. As always, take care, guys. I'm out.